everybody, this is Zoe from No Safe Place. I just did a quick poll over on my Twitter because the question that I get most as a blogger is how do you request proofs, how do you get on blogger mailing lists, how do you receive so many books in a month? So this is a how-to video of how I did it, my experience, what has worked for me and what has failed. So when I first started blogging just over 3 years ago, I didn't get sent any proofs, I didn't request any copies of books, I was just super nervous. It took me about 6 months and a little bit of searching around before I plucked up the courage and thought, right, I'm just going to get in touch with as many publishers as I can. So I sent out a very generic email to a lot of publishing companies and emails within those publishing companies. If you go onto a publisher's website, you can find around 30 or 40 emails in each publishing office. So I actually sent out about 100 of the same email asking if they were looking for a YA book blogger. I barely reviewed at this time. I wasn't getting much engagement. I wasn't very well known on social media. So as you can imagine, no one replied. So my first bit of advice is do not do that. Generic emails are always a no-no. What I have now learned is to research a publisher before you request any books. So go onto their website, most YA publishers have one, or a blog, or even a Twitter. See what books they have coming up, see which ones excite you, and put all of that enthusiasm about that book into an email and send it to a publisher. As I say, most of their emails are on the website. If not, a good little trick is to type in the publishing office into Twitter, and normally they will have that they're a publicist for a certain company in their bio, and they will come up when you search the publishing company, and that is a really quick, easy way to find publishers in a publishing house. So as I say, research the publisher. That is really important. In the beginning, request specific books and try to be realistic. When I first started, I thought, I'm a blogger now, I can get Cassie Clare books sent to me, I can get Sarah J Maas books sent to me. It doesn't work like that. So when I say be realistic, do not request really well-known authors in the beginning, because chances are you won't get an email. Or something else that I've learned is sometimes for really big books, they don't even have proofs or review copies, so sometimes it's a waste of time. So when I first started, I requested debut authors. That's a really good thing to do. Books that didn't have too much hype surrounding them. And honestly, if you get ignored or you get an email saying, no, we can't have you at this time, please do not feel disheartened and do not send more than one email to the same publisher asking about the same book. Because odds are they probably haven't replied because they've been just super busy, and you emailing them twice really doesn't help. If you're just starting your blog, before you request anything, I would definitely recommend reviewing quite a few books, just so if a publisher wants to check out your blog before they say whether they can give you a book or not, they know what your content is like, the kind of books that you enjoy reading, if the book is suitable for your blog. And great services for that are NetGalley and BookBridger. They are both free. NetGalley is ebook copies, BookBridger is physical copies. I used both of them so much when I was first starting out, and they were seriously a godsend. You can really build up your reputation as a blogger just by using those two services alone. And once you get a bit of a name for yourself, it is so much easier to request books. Mainly because you feel more confident that you have more of an audience now and that people actually want to read your blog. Interacting with publishers and authors on social media is so important. That was actually how I got my first proof copy. I'd had no luck with sending out all those emails. Seriously, not one single person replied to me, and I completely understand why. So I'd been speaking to an author whose book I was really excited for, and she actually messaged me and said, I've seen you're a book blogger, is there any way you'd want to review my book? There is no moment as a blogger better than that when you first start out. It is just amazing. But as I say, it took me a good 8 months to get to that point. I was really working hard on my blog and it took a long time for me to get to that point. Obviously for some of you it may be a hell of a lot quicker depending how confident you are and how savvy you are. But as I say, interact with publishers, interact with authors. Also keep an eye on social media for giveaways, because a lot of the time authors and publishers will do big giveaways, especially as it's getting closer to the book's release, and blogger call-outs. I see a lot of publishers will say, we have 10 copies of this book, the first 10 people to email this address will get a copy of the book. And it's literally that simple, but you do have to be very, very vigilant. What I would say is if you're desperate for a certain book or desperate to work with a certain publisher, turn on your tweet notifications so whenever they tweet, you get messaged and you can seem really, really keen and show how enthusiastic you are. Talking of blogger callouts, this is how to get on some mailing lists. Walker Books only have 2 blogger callouts a year, and they do a call out. Everyone applies who wants to be part of their mailing list, and only some are selected. Because there are only 2 a year and they're only open for a few days, I have missed this for 3 years. It is only last month that I finally made the day and got put onto their mailing list. So it is hard and it is tiring. Again, tweet notifications, turn on. So once you've reviewed a few books, you've requested a few books and they've been accepted, then is the time to ask if they have a mailing list. Now in my experience, it is much more successful if you ask if they have a mailing list rather than saying, can I be put on your mailing list? I'm not sure why, but asking if they have a mailing list has been so much more successful for me, because they usually reply, yes, we do, would you like to be part of it? If I say, can I be added to your mailing list, a lot of the time I haven't even got a reply, or they've replied saying, sorry, we're not accepting people at this time. Now that might just be my experience and it could be completely different for you guys. As I say, everything here is just what I've experienced. It's not really something that we talk about as bloggers, so I'm not really sure how it's worked out for anyone else. So ask if they have a mailing list, seem really, really enthusiastic. Publishers aren't going to want bloggers that aren't enthusiastic, aren't passionate, and don't have a liking for their books. I will admit I have applied for blogging lists before very, very early on, not really liking the genre of the publisher, not really knowing the authors, and when you pitch an email like that, you can really tell the difference between someone that wants a book and is just wanting free books. And that is a big difference. I think if publishers think that you just want free books rather than wanting to spread the love about a certain book or a certain publisher, they aren't going to send you any. For example, I have a really, really good relationship now with Simon & Schuster. They are a fantastic publisher, one of my favourites, and because I am so passionate about their books, I would literally say 95% of my videos include a book from Simon & Schuster. They always send me books now, and I am so grateful for that, because they are one of my favourite publishers and their books are just amazing. The same goes with Stripes Publishing. The more you interact with people, the better results you'll have. That is it. That is everything I've done and my experience of requesting books, requesting proofs, and how to be put on mailing lists. Now, if you've had any different experience, leave them in the comments below, because I would love to know how you guys have done it, how long it took you to get your first book, where you're at now. So just let me know. I hope you all have enjoyed this video. Let me know what you would like to see more of on my channel, and I hope to see you all again soon. Thank you. Bye.